morning, everyone.
So,
Happy day. We're about
right.
to go into the weekend. Well, I don't know if I wanted to say Friday, but yeah, it is Friday.
Well, I don't know what day you want to say. I don't know
No,
what day
I
you
just
want to
like
say.
did I just want to leave it without saying the day.
Oh,
You
okay.
always punking up my stuff. What I ain't
Oh,
even
wow,
messing with
wow,
you.
wow,
I ain't
wow,
even
wow.
messing with you. You always punking me out. I ain't messing with you. That's that Chicago side. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it come out. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. It's come out this weekend.
Lord have mercy. We had a good week. I hope everybody
Yeah.
had a good and productive week. And you're coming into the weekend either getting ready to be restored, refreshed, relaxed, or maybe this is your time to grind. So hopefully,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you want to happen out of this weekend can happen. So let's get popping because I'm a special guest on somebody else's show today.
Oh, wow.
So we gonna have to wrap up, but we do not want to shortchange you guys in actually giving
See
you
how people be
something.
Hollywood. They get a couple shows.
Whatever, bruh.
Now they
We did
puff
we
that
not
in
in
New
the
York,
show last
all on the
time? We in the show
videos.
last
All.
week for you. I ain't even listening to you. I'm not even listening to you. We ended early last week for you.
All
I'm
in the
not listening to you.
videos, all under the video.
Not listening. So
Oh, wow.
good morning. Make sure you guys drop in where you tuning in from. And always thank you to our sponsors. I want to give a good shout out to Russ and Scott. They are going to rev back up next week at their live business mastermind group. That's where we sit down and we really get it in. We talk about what it is that we love about what we're doing is live streaming, what new things are happening, how can we incorporate that, or do we even want to incorporate that? That's the type of conversations that we have in the live business mastermind group. So head on over to russhedge.com/, business dash mastermind so you can sign up, join, be a part of this because it's on Zoom, it's every week. So make sure that you are a part of that. Don't get left behind as other people growing now. And our good friend Martin, he has the Black Toolbox. Head on over to theblacktoolbox.com. Get your book. Get your copy of his book. Make sure that you are in the know. Martin is always giving us good information and helping us stay on track and on point. And like Carl always says, it's not just for Black folks. It's just for you if you want to be able to grow and start utilizing the different tools that other people have to help you get to the next level in your career and your business. Now, Carl, tell the folks about the Next Level Business Move Summit.
Yo, it is the next level business move summit, and it means just what the title says. So you're gonna learn from four awesome, amazing professionals. They're gonna be 90 plus years of business expertise, and we're just gonna go through strategies to recession proof your business. Right? We're doing it for the growth and sustainability. We're gonna do it for enhancement. We're gonna give you strategies to move forward and some heavily key tips to get you moving into the next phase of your business. So when they start talking about things not going, you can still go. And that's on Saturday, September the 24th from 10 to 11. We're doing it via Zoom. We got the VIP admission. Yeah, I know you may see the general admission on there, but I'm tagging the VIP admission because you want to be there in a place where we're going to dive into your business. So if you started your business and it's not really where you want it to be, we're going to tag into some key strategies to get you moving forward past the recession, or if you want to call it that, past these tough and difficult times. Because if you've been to the grocery store lately, you already know what it is. So we want you to register by September 9th, September 16th. I'm sorry, I know they said the night, but we pushed it out to nextlevelbusinessmove.com. Register today. Let's get your business moving. All right.
Exactly. And while you are on it, let the folks know about the transformation quickly so we can get
Yo,
them
yes,
into
we
it
get
because you
moving.
know, you know.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready to be transformed? That's just a question that I ask everybody that works with me. Right? We're going to take you through this four-step process. It's a 4 week intensive. It is for I designed it for the C-suite leadership, but it's for all leaders, all humans, all individuals. If you want to level yourself up in whatever position you may be in, register today. It's a 4 week. I'll walk you through it each and every step, each and every week. Shawnwatkins.com /VTP. Let's go. Are you ready to be transformed?
Yes, and as you're getting transformed through your vulnerability, you can now bring that over to your website, and I will help you build that out with your strategy. So if you need help to change your and transform that DIY struggle site into something that is powerful and gets your actual marketing message across, that's where you can come to me, brooklyn.customdesigns.com/strategy. Now let's get into this conversation,
Get into it.
folks. And also, good morning, everybody. We see y'all dropping these comments, but um, it's always it always amazes me how when people think about their website, they get the cold shakes, they get the cold sweats, they can't sleep at night, they not
Oh
sure what's
wow.
going on. I
Is that
exaggerate
about
a little
websites or
bit.
are we talking about horror movies? What's going
And some folks see their website and the experience of their website as a horror movie, right? They're nervous about it. They don't know what's going on. They don't know on the terms of platforms, what should they be on, technology wise, what should they really be investing in. So that's where we come in. The number one killer of all websites: not having a game plan, not having a strategy. Your strategy should be dominating and dictating where you move when it comes to your platforms, the technology you need to be investing in. So all of that, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And one part of it definitely is the myth buster that I have for us, where we are sitting here hearing folks talking about, if you build a site, it's just going to pop up on Google and
on?
everybody's going to come to you. Say what?
You mean to tell me I can't just pop this site and it's automatically gonna be there? Automatically
It's
gonna do
team. That's
traffic.
team no. That's team no. Team not happening today.
Mhm.
And why does that not happen? Because you still need to do the groundwork. Now, yes, if you just put in your name for your website, of course it's going to be the first thing up there if it's nothing else like it. Of course. But that's not the work that people will do. Most people don't even know your business exists. So you still have to put in the work for content creation. You need to build a buzz around it. So what does that look like? You need to use keywords on your website that are strong, that and one partly that are strong, two that are branded to you, three you want to be known for, and four you want to be in conversations that are already happening. So a
Yeah.
lot of times we are creating spaces and conversations that nobody's even talking about, right? So when you're doing that, you're creating keywords that nobody's looking for, and then you're not talking about it on social media, you're not talking about it on your website. You talked about it one time on a page that you were trying to get on Google for your keywords. That don't work. That does not work. It will take you way longer for your website to be found organically. And that's a lot of what we'll be talking about today. How can you organically show up? And if you can't do that organically using your SEO and the power of SEO, because it's a powerful tool if you're using it right. If you're not doing that, you're going to struggle online. People will not find you. People will be sitting there looking for help, looking for solutions, and you're nowhere near that because you're not providing anything. So what do you think, Carl? How has it been with your website and really trying to get your visibility out there and build that credibility with it?
Website has been, I can say for me, it's been a game changer. For the simple fact, I had one before and having it before and not having a strategy. And you look at it right and you say, oh man, strategy. I know I got to have a strategy, right? To be honest with you, this word was not thrown around in my circles of where I were, even in corporate America, to who I was dealing with and talking to and leading. We didn't use the term strategy too much, right? We use like
Mhm.
KPIs, reports, direct reports, those kind of things. We use those terms, right? Strategy was for the upper echelon who we didn't have, no dealings with. We was the little worker bees, right? So even though I was a leader, I wasn't in the room where it happens, where they actually talk about strategy. I gave ideas and stuff like that. But when you look at yourself, a lot of people don't really understand the nuts and bolts of even putting a strategy together for themselves. So when you do that and then you have a website that executes that, it is a game changer. I went from not getting no clicks or not getting no talks about on my old website Charlene did a website, showed me a few things. I added some stuff to mine. And like every week, I'm checking the analytics. There are a lot of people that are coming to my website. I'm even having people that was on LinkedIn jumping on and seeing me and say, "Oh, I saw your website on Google. I saw your." So it's more than just the SEO. It's more than just a landing page. It's more than you got to grow and cultivate. I call a website your garden. Every now and then you got to plant new things in there. You got to water it. You got to tender it. You got to get it together, and you got to get it ready. And being on the website, it's yours, right? It's not Facebook's. It's not TikTok's. It's not Instagram. When you go and put stuff on there, you got to build a cultivation where they come up off of those platforms and come and nourish and feed you. You the one trying to eat. You can't eat on the Zuckerberg site. He ain't getting you no money. You can't eat on the Instagram site. They ain't getting you no money. You got to eat on your site. You know what I mean?
I love that you said that. Eat on your site.
That's it.
And before we get into the next, the first actual action step to take, I wanted to address Giannis's question. And yes, TikTokers, your audience, somebody on Facebook, YouTube, they are, because your audience, no matter where you are, they're judging you. They're trying to figure out who you are. And it's not a judgment per se in a bad way, but it's a judgment of trying to see, are you the one?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're especially depending on what you do, there's a lot of people in that industry that probably are coming at the same audience. So you still have to stand out, and vulnerability allows you to stand out differently. And it allows you to show, okay, this is what I've been through. This is why we can connect. And then your proper audience, your proper prime candidate will come to you that way. That's how people really making those connections. And I'm speaking on the reality of most of us are either small business owners, we're in the corporate space, so we're not running conglomerates.
No.
So we cannot look at spaces like Amazon, GoDaddy, all those other big conglomerates that don't need the CEO or the owner to show up, even though Amazon's owner shows up every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not always in the good light, but homeboy shows up every now and then. So you have to look at the same space that you're in and those around you in that space to really garner, okay, would this fit? And I'm not saying don't take examples from what Amazon would be doing, but when it comes to vulnerability and building that credibility and building a quick way for people to get to know you, you have to look at how people deal with small businesses. They want to see who's behind that logo. They want to know who's behind these products.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to get people to trust your brand and products in your business is for them to see who you are. So that's where the vulnerability comes in, especially on your website. You creating that space in a blog and a post, or and it's not always you talking about yourself. And I think people mistake what vulnerability is. It's not always about you talking about you and how you may have broken down and struggled, but this is what I've noticed. Or when I've talked to clients, these are the things that I've seen, and it's okay. And this is how you get through that. People find genuine connections through that as well, because not only do they see you care, they see how you help others go through something that they may be going through, because maybe you didn't go through a trauma that they've experienced, but you've helped others go get through it. So you want to be aware that it doesn't always have to be you talking about yourself when it comes to vulnerability. Any thing on
No,
that,
that's
Carl?
that's definitely it. You hit it right on the head. The vulnerability piece is what you extend out there. I said it so many times. You guys are listening to me. It's about the sender and the receiver, and most of the time it's about the receiving because people don't generally send it out. So, but on the essence of that, so you'll get it probably displayed before you are displayed before someone else. That's how vulnerability works. That's how we allow it to work, even though it shouldn't work like that. We should be vulnerable in points and places and things with us. Therefore, there could be growth, right? Everything is not about being embarrassed. Everything is not about an embarrassing moment. All of us have had them. It's how you embrace them, how you learn from them, how you move on. Is the difference between who becomes great or who becomes mediocre. Those are the kind of things that you have to embrace, and that's truly what the vulnerability piece of it is. You're embracing it on there. People are going to judge you. They're going to judge you before you be vulnerable, right? And there's not going to be no growth there. You're going to have people trying to direct the way that you live. Been started since parents, since you were a kid. Mom and dad been trying to direct your path, right? Not to say that that's a bad
Mhm.
thing because you was a kid, but they put their influences over you to make decisions. I talk about a lot as far as going to colleges and going to those things. Their influences play a big role on that on a lot of kids going into sports because dad played sports, but he never made it. Trying to live his life through you. So we get all of those judgments from the door, from the people that love us, that says they love us. So why not be real with the ones that you don't? Because you never know what one interaction may do. And that's really why
Mhm.
I embrace vulnerability. I never know who I'm going to run across. And not in the essence of I'm thinking I'm going to get something, but whatever it is, it's empowering and moving me forward. And I wouldn't have gotten that or I wouldn't have been exposed to that had not been vulnerable. So,
Yes, and since we're talking about relationship building, you want to
yes.
make sure when you're working on your website and the content that you're putting on there, be it written, be it a video. Remember, I said content is everything. It's not just content is king and video is better. Content includes video. Video is your content. So when you're writing out a blog, you're creating a video blog, which is a vlog. You're implementing images. All those things come together, and you have to use those in a way that you're focusing on and you're speaking directly to your audience. You want them to connect to these pieces that you're taking time to create. And that's the key. You want to take time and create this stuff. And while you're doing that, the next step will come in. But Carl, I just want to see quick. Did you have anything real quick?
No, no. Speaking on, yeah, just I mean, you touch base on that. Just speak to your audience, speak to those, and your audience, right? I just want to say this, and we'll move to the next part. Your audience is there. You have to speak to your truth. I just want to kind of clear that up for me because people say, I got to find more, I got to find more. All you got to do is speak your language, your audience to hear you. You don't have to go searching for one. You don't have to create one. You don't have to cultivate one. I mean, no, you have to
Mhm.
cultivate, but you don't have to create one and manifest one. All you got to do is speak to your truth, what you believe in, what you stand for, your values, your core values. Someone is aligned with that. That becomes your audience. So don't go out there thinking that you got to create this just monstrosity of people to talk to. All you got to do is talk, be genuine, consistent, and show up. Your audience will find you. So I just want to clear that out.
Facts. And as they finding you, what's the next thing that you're doing? You're building that relationship with them. And we talk about it a lot, especially those who are trying to use LinkedIn as a space to connect with people. You want to build those relationships. Then the sales follow. A lot of times you have to also be active when you're building your sales, but you don't want to always jump into sales with folks who you just met or they not sure how you roll. They don't know that. So you want to build the relationships and then start building those sales out. And you use your website through that. When you're blogging, again, what are you doing? You're introducing not just your train of thought, but you're going to start telling people, hey, if you want to know more, connect with me. Let's work
Mhm.
together. Let's find out if we even a good fit. That's how your blog comes in as a tool for you not to just build those relationships, but get those sales in and get those opportunities to say, hey, take this next step. The next step after you read this blog is to contact me, do business with me, buy this shirt. You saw I was talking about cotton and how I'm using sustainable material and all of that. Now here's a couple of examples in my store. Like that's really a great way to build those as well.
Mhm. It
And your
is.
experience with that?
Yeah, it's definitely that. Building relationship, they do build sales. Your relationship sells that. Now, will they build them immediately or to the depth that you want everybody be buying? No. Have you built a relationship that it gave you everything you wanted in the beginning of it? No, it didn't. It's a cultivation. I use everything garden type. I give you that visual. It takes work,
Hmm.
right? You can't go out there plant the seed today and talk about, oh, I'm gonna go get my tomatoes. You just planted the seed yesterday, bro. Ain't no tomatoes out there. You got to go water. You got to go till the land. You got to go prune. You got to go do all that other stuff. Relationships the same way. If you be in one, you got a partner, a spouse, kids, work. All those relationships take work. So you got to build that up. In building that, people will get confidence in you. If you're selling and providing services and products, people will get inquisitive because they understanding you now. They understand how you move and shake. That's all part of that relationship building. And eventually, if they're your customers, they will buy if you cultivate that relationship. If it's just a relationship, because all relationships ain't about sales. Some are about collaboration. Some about moving you forward. Some about seeing what you they can bring to your table to grow you. Not about sales all the time. So you have to understand that relationship, cultivate that relationship, move forward in it. But your credibility will build your sales. Point blank.
And I love that you said things take time,
Yep.
because for whatever reason we get to the space where we're not being truthful with ourselves and
Microwave.
our expectations are not realistic.
Yeah.
So between building the relationships, having a website that will help you build credibility, we are all expecting popcorn to be as soon as we put it out there, boom, boom, boom. It's
Yeah,
magic.
and
It's magic.
yes, yes, yeah, and I was saying that I'm Mr. Vulnerable. I tell myself I was that dude. I got this, and it wasn't arrogance or cockiness. You're confident in what you're doing, what you're offering, and what you have. That's just with anybody that owns a business, right? So the first thing you do when you
Mhm.
start seeing some things formulate and get together, you're expecting results, and you're not always patient. You've worked for corporations that wasn't always patient, so it's in our system. We have that innateness. Pop it in the microwave, it's done in a minute. That's how we think everything should roll. Man, it rolled. It was a minute before I started getting some clients. It was a minute before I started getting some calls. It was a minute before I was like, hold up. You told me to get the website. I started questioning Charlene. You told me to get the website. You told me to
Yep.
put this
And what was some of the things I said? Okay, what are you doing with your blog? What are your
Yes.
keywords? Are you
Yeah.
sharing? Are you sending people to the website? Where are you
Yeah.
sending them?
So it's
And
more you
then
got to
and
do.
yeah, so it's always about testing, cultivating, and figuring
Mm.
out what's your thing. Because as many strategies as you collect, there's a
Yeah.
way to formulate your own strategy out of all the proven ones. So you can
Right.
take, if somebody gives you 10 proven strategies, maybe 3 of them work for you.
Mhm.
And you can Frankenstein them to something else, another 2 that work for you, and boom, that's your strategy
Mhm.
because you see it works for you. So it's not that nothing else worked. It's just that what worked for you. And a lot of that comes with testing and time and, of course, patience. So as we talk about that, the same thing I was telling Carl, promote your website. Because you built it, don't mean people care about it.
True.
They don't care about it as much as you do, if you even care about it.
Mhm.
So that's something else that I've noticed a lot of times. Clients don't talk about their website. I'm sorry. You just invested time. If it's a DIY struggle site, even you invested your time in this and you're not talking about your website. You're not sending people over there. You send them to TikTok. You send them to Instagram. You send them to your Facebook group. You send them to your text message service, but you didn't
Everything.
even tell them you had a website. And you wondering why nobody came to your website because you ain't talking
Oh,
about it.
they
You
say
have to
nothing.
promote your website as hard as you promote your Facebook group. Promote
Mhm.
your website as hard as you promote your Instagram, because you promoting other people's platforms and leaving yours in the dust. And then you mad and you struggling talking about, well, see, this is why I don't need a website. You don't need a website. Your website is not being treated with respect, and
That's
therefore it won't perform.
That's the truth, and you're not paying it. You're not paying any attention. And I hear people say it all the time. I didn't realize there was really that much of a difference until I started working with Charlene, until I started getting my eyes opening. And sometimes you have to be in the form of listen. That's a part of vulnerability. You don't know, right? You don't know. So you start picking up, especially in this entrepreneurial journey, because most of us haven't done this, right? So we're hopping out, and I know a lot of 800%. I think they said that people have jumped to entrepreneurship since the pandemic. They didn't know nothing about entrepreneurship before the pandemic. Maybe some knew some things, or maybe being in relationships or new partners or friends that had their own businesses. They didn't know the nuts and
Mhm.
bolts. You know what I mean? They may have known what their business did. So you have to be vulnerable enough to ask these questions. To not look at yourself as being an idiot or someone don't know. And no, it's no shame in that. It's no taking away from who you are. Ask these questions. I didn't know. I started peppering Charlene with a lot of questions. Well, you said this, you said that. How can I move this? Then you have to act on it. because I get people asking me a lot of questions. I give away a lot of free information, and I come back to
Yep.
them and I hear them 3, 4 months down the line, and they like, yeah, man. I was like, yo, I was looking for some changes. We talked about something. Not that I'm the say all be all, but you asked me for
Mm-hmm.
advice, and I'm not going to tell you or share with you anything that's not going to move you. I could look
Yep.
at people's stuff later on, just like Charlene. She looked at my webpage. She told me some things to do, how to do it. I said, okay, I like that part. I like that. Maybe I want to add this. Let me try that. Let me try that. Now I go back and show her, be like, yo, I just look jacked up or what? Because I may not know formats and that kind of thing. But she
Right.
said, yeah, that's good. And she gets excited about me moving and shaking with it. People just want to see you grab stuff and grow. You know what I mean? So this is
Mm-hmm.
what your website does. It allows you to grow. It allows you to put pepper, I call it salt and pepper stuff in there. Let people see your development. When they come to your website
Yes.
last month, and then now you got an accelerator program. Now you got a vulnerability transformation program. That was plug to get my plug in there. Then you got one of the programs in there, right? And then the last time
Yep.
they check your site, now they see you to add it 6 months. They see you growing. The website
Mm-hmm.
does that for you. Can't anybody watching you grow on social media, TikTok,
Not at
Facebook.
all. Not at
They want to
all.
see the day. You clown the day, they happy the day, they smile the day. Ain't nobody going on there say, "Oh, you know what, Carl? Last week he grew." If they are, y'all tell me. If I'm wrong, I'll say it. But y'all are good. Send me somebody on TikTok say it came to you and say, "Oh, I saw your video grew from the last video you made." No, they's
And
like,
that
"What?"
and you only that's rare because that you really getting that when people are glued to your
Yeah,
TikTok account
yeah,
and they paying attention to you.
yes.
But you have to still be aware that if anything happens to TikTok, TikTok goes down,
Ooh,
TikTok decides to switch. Because I remember people were loving up on Vine. Vine was another form of TikTok, but the early stage
mhm,
of TikTok, right?
okay.
Another version of it. Loving, loving, loving on Vine. What happened? Vine closed down. I was stunned. I was like, what?
I know what happened because I
Vine
ain't
was
heard of
a
mine.
done.
So they,
And Vine was done. And I
yeah.
want to say Vine got purchased by somebody, but I'm gonna keep it to myself until I can confirm. But they just got done, right? So
Mhm,
at the end of the day, when you want to build your credibility, you want to have a strategy. Start with yourself first. Start with your website. That's why
mhm,
websites die off. People ignore their websites. They build something
yes.
real quick, or they put time and effort and energy into it. They're not maintaining it, and we're gonna talk about this for the rest of the month.
Oh, we
They
got a
don't
nice month,
maintain it.
y'all.
They don't cultivate it. They do nothing with it. They leave it dry, high, and say goodbye. And then they wondering like, well, I spent all this money and put all this time. I don't need no website. You need a website, but you need a strategy first,
Mhm,
right?
yeah.
So as we wrap this up, I wanna say one more thank you to everybody for coming through and always
Yes.
supporting. Love y'all, love y'all. But also please make sure that as you guys are starting into cultivating your own websites, your own spaces, make sure that you're doing it from a point of this is how I want to be seen. That's
Mhm,
something else that we forget when we're building websites. We're thinking about the audience, of course, but how do you want your audience to see you?
mhm.
Never forget that. And once you know, like, yes, this is me, you don't never have to look back. All you have to do is keep building, like Carl said. Just keep building, keep building. So I want to say thank y'all. Don't forget about our sponsors. We're going to drop them so you can see them real quick. Carl, any last words you want to say to the people?
Yo, it is what it is. Don't let any of this that we talked about go over your head or go in one ear and out the other, as Mama used to say. Listen to it, apply it. If it don't apply to you, keep it on the back burner. You may not have ran into the situation yet, and that's a lot of things about these shows that we do. You may not have run about your situation. You may not be sitting at that party yet. You may be going to that party, or you may need this information. Put it down, save it for later, and then you prepared. That's all we doing is trying to get you prepared. So listen to the website because
Yes.
I'm a walking witness. You do need it, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference, big time.
Here, here. And if you all are still on LinkedIn and even on YouTube, make sure that you catch me. I'm heading on over to Ingor's site and
Yeah,
her show. We're going to talk about networking and the power of networking. I cannot wait to have this discussion. Carl,
yeah.
I know I'm going to see you over there, so I don't even need to say nothing.
Oh
Okay.
wow, wow.
Bye, everybody.
I love it.
Bye, everybody.
Pieces, guys. Have a great weekend.